Hey, Bob, you're watching Dolly Vision.
The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
What is up, my beautiful people? It is Dolly back in the house. And I know it's been a minute since I've been here early in the morning in the daytime. What the hell is happening? Okay, so today, of course, we're going to be talking about Melodee Buzzard. We're going to be talking about Jake HARO. And, of course, we're going to be talking about I can't even talk. Monkey Michael Vaughan. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. But first, of course, I'm going to need you to leave your fingerprints and your DNA all over the like button, just in case you go missing and Dolly got to track you down. Okay? If I got to hunt you down, I'm definitely going to need your like on the like button. Of course, if you're brand new, and there's only like 150 of you here this morning, I doubt you're brand new, but if you are, stub up, ring the bell for notifications, and of course, feel free to share my face on any social media platform you choose. All right, we're going to start a little bit with the Emmanuel HARO stuff, okay? And then, of course, we'll get into the Melodee Buzzard. We'll get into the Michael Monkey Vaughan. But people are saying that Jake HARO, he got sentenced, just in case you don't know, he got sentenced to 25 years to life in prison, okay, with the possibility of parole. What the hell? Listen, this dude's done destroyed one life. You know, his daughter, she has 10% brain functionality, right? She's bedbound, where he basically abused her the same way he abused Emmanuel HARO, and he didn't serve any prison time for that. He goes to court yesterday, and I'm sorry I couldn't be here to stream that with you guys live, but we are going to take a look at that because, you know, just for my people here that we could go over it together. But what the hell, right? This man should have got life without the possibility of parole. And let me tell you this, life in California ain't life like forever life. People get life in California and they get let out all the time. So I don't think he's eligible for parole to after, I think it was something like 6 years or something like that, which is, oh my God, Emmanuel HARO's life means more than that. Cable is the first person jumping on the Dolly train this morning, the Blessed Express. Now listen, the Blessed Express have not left the train station this early in a long time. Okay. But I've been trying to fix my sleeping schedule. My sleeping schedule's been real off. So hopefully I went to bed early last night. I got up early this morning, had me breakfast, watched Smokey and the Bandit. Okay. That's what I did with my morning. I watched an old ass movie, Smokey and the Bandit, for any Burt Reynolds fans out there. Okay. So I'm trying to get back to getting up early during the day because I've been slacking. I haven't been getting much done because I've been sleeping such crazy hours. So hopefully I will be here more for you guys in the morning time. All right. And thank you, Cable, for getting on the Blessed Express with us. T says, choo choo, Dolly. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you for being on the Blessed Express with me this morning. So I don't know how many people are calling bullshit like me with this 25 years to life. I watched the story last night on the first after the 48, right? So it's the next series, you know, the next 48, and then they have a show called After the 48. Patty, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patty. You are great. Welcome to the Blessed Express this morning. And Helena, I like a seat. Oh, all of y'all. Did somebody get paid to not tell Dolly? Right? I like a seat on the Blessed Express too. Let's hit that like too. Thank you. James is jumping on the Express. Good Lord. Y'all must need some good luck this morning. Because you know, when you ride the Blessed Express, that's when you get all the luck. Okay. That's when your day just goes great. So I was watching After 48, which tells you the story of the crime. It tells you about the people going to court. And then it tells you what happens to them years down the line. It's kind of like the first 48, but years later. There was this man who was sentenced in Texas to life in prison, 25 years, right? He had murdered 2 people, so they gave him 2 life terms. But here's the crazy thing. His life terms ran consecutive. All right? So really, he only had 25 years. And he paroled out after 14 years. Okay? So he did 14 years. He paroled out. Within a year, he murdered somebody else. So this man actually literally went to prison for 3 different counts of murder, different times, was sentenced to life, and was out in 14 years and married somebody else, murdered somebody else again. Now, of course, the last time he murdered somebody, they charged him with murder. He got life without the possibility of parole. But it took him killing 3 people to actually get permanent life in prison. Now, is Jake HARO going to spend the rest of his life in prison? I don't think so. He ain't that old of a man. Okay. 25 years, he'll be out, which he shouldn't be. That to me is absolutely insane, right? Like what is going on with the California legal system that people like this can kill kids and basically, I ain't saying get away with it, but not be punished like they should be. Okay. Definitely not be punished like they should be. And of course, Rebecca's mother was in court and she spoke out to Jake. And then we're going to play that. So I'm not going to really go over what she said, but she was trying to tell Jake to look at her. She told Jake before he was arrested, she would be at his court hearing for sentencing. She knew he did it, right? The family knew that Jake was responsible for killing Emmanuel HARO. And you know what? Here's the kicker. He never gave up Emmanuel. Never, right? This little baby's still out there somewhere, probably in a shallow grave somewhere on the side of the interstate. And he hasn't told where this baby is. And they give this man 25. They treated Joe Exotic worse. Okay. And speaking of Joe Exotic, he's been posting a lot of things for the holidays, and there's a petition to try to help Joe Exotic get out of prison. I agree. Joe Exotic didn't do much. Joe Exotic got longer. Joe Exotic could probably spend longer in prison than Jake HARO. Tell me that ain't crazy, right? Tell me that ain't crazy. Amanda, this is the best time for me to catch your lives. Well, thank you. Thank you, Amanda, for being here with me. That is super awesome. Nah, I disagree. Oh, what about the Tigers? You know, I think that's a lot of hype. The mom is just trying to get her daughter out. She was defending her son who murdered his girlfriend. The whole family is trash. Well, somebody had to be there to represent baby Emmanuel, right? I see Free Joe Exotic, right? Yes, Free Joe. I back you on that, right? I back you on Free Joe Exotic. I say we let Joe Exotic out and we lock up Carol Baskins, okay? Lock her ass up. Never let her out. I don't care what anybody says, okay? Just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with the opinion, but I say lock up Carol Baskins. She killed her husband. She stole his money. She was a street hooker, okay? Free Joe. Free Joe. Free Joe, okay? I'm down with it. Maybe we can get him on the show. We send him a little money, get him a calling card, let him call in. Car looks great. Thank you, Sidekick. I'm selling it. You want to buy it? I will autograph it for you, right? I got to get rid of it. I got to get rid of it. Yes, I do. So anyway, we're going to take a little look at what happened in court. I know I'm late to the party with it, okay? You know, it says the latest update, like late, like I should have did this yesterday late. It's that late, right? But I was knocked out. I slept. I got plenty of sleep. That's why I'm up so early today, refreshed. All right. I had to do a bunch of running errands yesterday. I had my hot water heater went out. Okay. True story. So I bought a new hot water heater and it was supposed to be delivered yesterday. And I was going to get up all early this morning and, you know, hook up the new hot water heater, you know, because I have skills like that. And it wasn't here. They didn't deliver it. So I called up Home Depot this morning going crazy saying, where the hell is Dolly's hot water heater? My dirty ass needs a bath, right? And they were like, we will have it to you by 8 o'clock today. Okay. From now to 8 o'clock. I was like, that's a big damn window, right? Y'all need to hurry up and get my hot water heater here. So I got up early this morning hoping my hot water heater would be here, and they were late. They were late, but they did refund me my money because I paid extra to have it delivered, and they refunded me my delivery fee. Whatever. So when it gets here today, I got some stuff to do. I got to hook up my hot water heater. The faster you let it go, the faster it will come. Okay. All right. Well, you know, let's jump over to the court case. And we're going to watch a little bit of that since I didn't get a chance to watch it with you guys yesterday. But I don't think justice was served. But here it opens up other questions. What do we do with Rebecca HARO, right? What do we do with her? If he's saying he murdered her and Rebecca has nothing to do with it, but yet she's still sticking to her story and not saying anything, what do we do with this woman, right? That's a little crazy, right? I think at this point, she had plenty of chances to talk. I'm just going to give you my opinion. She had plenty of chances to talk and she didn't. I say we treat her just like we treat Jake. Give her 25 to life. Anybody agree with that? Disagree with that? But that's what I think. 25 to life for Rebecca HARO. All right. Let's jump into this. Let me turn this up. Court is in session. Rebecca gets the same. That's what I think. You know, he's trying to look all sad. He wasn't all sad when he was abusing that baby. Let's jump ahead a little bit.
So cell phones, no recording except for the pool camera. There will be no comments about the case while the court is in session. no outbursts, and please follow the instructions.
Oh,
given
hell
by
no.
our sub-deputies.
Dolly's full of outbursts this morning.
With that, calling the matters of Jake HARO.
6 years, Jimmy.
Please.
Thank you. I'll wait for Mr. HARO. He is sitting here next to me at council table. And thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Allison Lowe also on behalf of Jake HARO.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. William Robinson for the people.
Good afternoon. Brandon Smith for the people.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Mr. HARO. And this is the time and place set for sentencing. Are both sides ready to go forward at this time?
Yes.
And the court has read and considered the sentencing memorandums provided by Ms. Garthwaite and Ms. Lowe, as well as Mr. Smith and Mr. Robinson, as well as the probation report. At this time,
Me too,
if I
not
want to
Al.
hear further,
Me
Mr.
too.
Smith, Mr. Robinson, any victim impact statements for the court to consider.
There will be no victim.
Listen, there should be none of this without parole, without the baby, right? That's where I have a problem with it. Now, if they would have gave him 25 years with the possibility of parole and he gave up Emmanuel Haro, I could live with it. I think a lot of you guys out there could too, but there wouldn't be this like outrage about, they're not tough on crime. I mean, murder. If you're going to murder somebody, damn, go to California. You can murder somebody and be out in what, 7 years? I mean, that's nothing. And this is the second life he's destroyed. And just, it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. And the biggest thing of them all, like I said, is he didn't have to give up this baby. And people hiding kids, like, we're going to be talking about Melodee Buzzard and some new images that came out and some new information that came out. And I really do believe she hid that child, but we'll get to that after this.
Okay. And Ms. Garthwaite, Ms. Lowe.
Your Honor, I just wanted to very briefly reiterate the defense objection to imposing court fees and fines. Mr. Haro is indigent. He's a public defender client. I believe that the court is going to sentence him to a lengthy sentence. And prior to his arrest, he was unable to work and was receiving disability. So we would object to the court imposing any court fees and fines. If the court is going to assess a restitution fine, it is based, or the defense requests that based on the indigency that the court set it.
Hey, Cujo.
$300, which is the
Gina.
Okay. And Mr.
Tammy.
Smith, Mr. Robinson, do you want to be heard in regards to that?
Yes, I'd say that while I intend to submit in large part on the sentencing memorandum I filed with the court, I do want to reiterate that while I understand the court has some discretion in this matter regarding the sentence and the fines and fees, I want to emphasize the fact that this defendant deserves no leniency in any regards as to sentence.
No,
or
Jimmy.
To fines and fees. The court is well aware of how this case began with the defendants standing in front of law enforcement and the public.
I don't
and,
think so.
Creating this public panic about a child being kidnapped, and the resources that were expended in order to investigate those lies of the defendant need to be addressed in this sentence as well. So I would ask that the court recognize that in deciding how much to assess the defendant in fines and fees, as well as in exercising its discretion regarding the appropriate sentence in this case.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Anything further before the court begins its sentence?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm sorry, we've had, I guess, a change of opinion. So the
January.
Haro's grandmother has now asked to address the court about the sentence.
Okay. And are you ready at this time?
Ma'am.
Okay.
All right, this is the grandmother.
Hello, ma'am. And Mr. Smith, if we can have an introduction, please.
Yes, so this is Emmanuel.
Dolly be late with this news story. Yes, I was asleep yesterday, but that don't mean we're not going to go over it. We cover all things in missing kid cases. Okay. I am late. I admit I am a little late on this story, but we still need to talk about it. Okay. We still need to talk about it. I'm here today. I can't always be here. I'm not sitting around just waiting for a news story to break. Okay. I have a life outside of YouTube, just a little bitty one, but I'm here to discuss it with you guys today. Better late than never, right? Ain't that the saying? Better late than never. And, but trust me, I was following what was going on yesterday when I got up, when I got out of my slumber. But I didn't have a chance to bring it to you guys live. And like I said, I've been trying to fix my sleeping schedule, so I'm here more with you guys during the day. Lately, I've only been live at 2:00 in the morning. Okay. AM from like 2 to 4. I've been streaming, and that's the time of the day where nobody's up. But thank you for everybody that's been watching my replays. Y'all haven't been able to catch the lives because I've been doing them so late, but I'm trying to fix my schedule. I'm here with you guys today, and we got a lot of stuff to catch up on and a lot of stuff to discuss. So I'm glad you can be here with us. All right. Thank you guys.
HARO's maternal grandmother, and her first name is Mary, Mary.
What's that?
And I'll have her spell her last name.
Bushashen.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you for being here today. And ma'am, I want to make sure that I hear everything that you have to say, that our court reporter can take down everything that you have to say, and that we have an accurate record. We've cleared our entire afternoon, so you don't feel the need to be rushed. So whenever you're ready, if you could speak loudly and clearly and slowly for us. But whenever you're ready.
I want Jake to look at me. I want him to face me.
And ma'am, if you can address...
He's not going to.
I would like for him to face me, to look at me.
Okay.
They should make him look too, I think.
And
What
Matt, if you could speak up as loud as you can, please.
I wanted Jake to face me, to look at me, because I told him that I would be here for his sentencing before he was arrested.
Good, Grandma.
I talked to him about, as a friend, to tell me everything. Because he didn't give me the opportunity to meet my grandson. He destroyed my whole family. He branded his children for life. He damaged her children, all his children for life. And in doing that, he destroyed my family, my children, everybody in my family. All my children are destroyed by this. He changed my daughter to where we don't know who she is. He never gave me a chance to see my grandchildren. He kept my daughter away. I don't know what he did or how he changed my daughter's life. But she was never that same person after she went to live with him. The only reason Rebecca came back, because in March I had a stroke. And my son got hold of her and told her I was in ICU.
She never met Emmanuel.
That's how I met Mackenzie, my 2-year-old granddaughter. I didn't even know she existed. Because I was not aware that she was pregnant with Mackenzie. I was not aware that she was pregnant with Emmanuel. I never met Emmanuel. You know, it deprived everybody. And it has hurt my children because the media has torn all of my children apart, okay? Because they say, Grandma knows, Grandma isn't on it, Grandma doesn't know nothing. If I had known what was going on, I would have take my daughter out of there forcefully, or I would have called the police. My sons would have come and got her, okay? Never, never did we ever knew anything. If I had known when I called social service when Rebecca moved in, I called social service to let them know that I didn't like him. That because my granddaughter Irene was afraid. She didn't want to be there. She called me and she says, Grandma, I don't want to be there. Okay, so I called social service. I asked social service to give me a report of what had happened, what they found out. Oh no, she's fine. The house is beautiful. They have food in the fridge. That's it. Have social service come and told me what he had done to promise these other children. Nothing of this would be here. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. My grandchildren, Emmanuel wouldn't be gone. Mackenzie wouldn't have been born. Because he had already done a lot of horrible things to his other children.
Yeah, he did.
Those children for life. And in the same way, granted all my children too. Because I can't go nowhere without they asking me. Every time I go to the store or somebody recognizes me, they attack me, you know? On social media, everywhere. And that is not my doing. Or my children. This has been horrible for us. I was glad the day that got arrested because I fear for my daughter's life. I fear for everybody. And, you know, he had a second chance. My daughter didn't have a chance with him. Or his children. His children didn't have a second chance. And I think the judge that let him go should be here sitting with him.
Amen to that, Grandma.
Because
who don't agree with that? What she said. The judge that let him go should be sitting there with him. And I agree with that. That judge that let this dude go with no prison time for what he did to his daughter, shame on him. And that grandmother is absolutely right. We got 237 likes on this video, and there's like 500 of you in the room with me. Please take a second, like Paula, that's awesome, did, and like the video. You guys are great. Good morning to you. Okay, listen, if you don't like the video, I'm going to voodoo curse you, and you're going to have a day of bad luck, and you don't need that. I'm playing. I wouldn't put no voodoo on you people like that, all right? You never know, though. I'm watching you.
they could have told me, oh no, protocol doesn't allow us to tell you anything. Well, how are we supposed to protect our children if we don't know? The court knows what's going on. I didn't know.
Good morning, doll.
I called social service. I didn't know what he had done to his other children. And here he sits, you know, like nothing. Somebody will give him another chance. And I don't want that. Because he didn't give his children a chance. He didn't give my daughter a chance to be happy to take care of her children, okay?
Listen, what mother is not going to protect their child? All right? Listen, we got mothers in here. You know good and well, if this situation was you was in this mother's place, this grandma's place, you would be saying the same thing. Her daughter changed when she got with this man. That's what she's saying. She said, we don't even recognize my daughter anymore. She's a different person because of this man. She's not so much defending her daughter as she's saying that the reason her daughter is the way she is because of this man. He is a horrible piece of shit. And I use that word because that's what he is. I mean, there is no other word for this dude. Turd wouldn't work. Doo-doo ball. Dung. None of that would work. Okay. This dude is a piece of shit. And he should be buried under the prison And I hope when he gets to prison, inmates beat on him like he beat on that baby. That's what he deserves. He deserves to be drugged outside his home right there in Calabazan. And all them people that put teddy bears out there should get a stick and everybody should be able to bust him upside the head with it one time. That's real justice. Was real justice served here? Hell no. This man didn't even tell where the baby's at. He's actually eligible for parole in some years to come. He will get out of prison one day. He done destroyed 2 lives and he'll still get to live his. Free Joe Exotic.
My 20-year-old granddaughter, my 18-year-old granddaughter are a mess because of him. Mackenzie, it's totally changed. A little baby, a 2-year-old girl that has nothing, okay? I'm very, very stressed out, very angry at the justice system for letting this guy, giving him a chance. Who gave my grandchildren a chance, a second chance? Did CPS check?
Debbie, I wish you were right, but trust me, they will. California is messed up. The justice system is broken, and this man should have never been allowed to have parole. Matter of fact, he should have faced a death penalty.
Why didn't they tell me? Oh, look, this is what that guy does. He takes it out on the children, on the baby. He can't do it to a grown person. He's not man enough to do it to a man, okay? He destroys so many lives. His mom, his brother, everybody, okay? Nobody wants to be here. Nobody wanted to come and look at it. But I have to speak for my grandson and my grandchildren, and for my children too, because they're going through every hell in this world, okay?
Thank you, Mom.
I didn't mourn my grandson that he passed away. We buried him on the 5th of August, and they were saying that, oh, we probably bury Emmanuel in my grandson's, when we bury my grandson, okay? I lost my grandson on the 5th. We buried my grandson on the 5th of August. Then he calls me on the 14th of August and says that Emmanuel is kidnapped. And then my sister passes on the 17th of August.
Man, she's had it rough.
Any of my sister, my grandson, my other grandson, none. Because everybody was angry at everybody because how could this happen? Why? I wish you could look at me and tell me why. He was never in my house. He knew I didn't like him. He knew I called social service, and that's why he kept my daughter away. He changed her so she couldn't have no contact with me or his brothers, okay? Had I had not had a stroke, I would have never met Mackenzie or, probably heard it on the news about Imani, okay? So don't blame my children. The media has blamed my children, everybody. The TikTokers, everybody.
The
Grandma Mary
TikTokers.
knows. I don't know nothing, okay? And I stand here with you, asking you to give him the maximum. Because I don't want him to give him another chance. He didn't give nobody a chance. He had many chances. He had a chance. The judge gave him a second chance. The probation gave him another chance. The CPS, oh well, no, he's fine. He's got food in the fridge and the house is clean.
Hey, Nina.
That doesn't cut it, okay? And that's not fair to the children to let somebody out like that. And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm just very, very upset and very stressed out.
And
Grandma, you don't have to be sorry. Alba, thank you so much for jumping on the Blessed Express with us this morning. This woman don't have to be sorry. Now listen, your daughter did horrible things. She covered for this man. She chose a man over her baby. It's pretty damn bad. Okay. But you don't have to be sorry. This is not your fault. Okay. I feel bad for her. She's probably the only one I feel bad for. I don't really feel bad for Rebecca. You know, we know Rebecca was an abused woman. We know that. But it's no excuse after she was taken out of that environment to continue to lie and not tell, right? I felt sorry for her up until that point. We gave her grace. Like, listen, now's the time to talk. We know you were abused. It's hard not to feel bad for a woman that has 2 black eyes and a man beating on her and killing her kids. But when she was out of that environment and she was in a safe place, she should have told, you know, because this man would never be able to hurt her again, and she didn't. So at this point, we have to treat Rebecca the same as we treat Jake. You know, what's going to be crazy is they'll probably give Rebecca longer than they gave Jake.
ma'am, no need to apologize.
She goes to court in January, yes.
Proceeding here is for you to make your impact statement, to talk about how the crime has affected you and your family. I do want to lead with, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for all the hurt that you and your family have gone through.
A lot of hurt.
And I want to thank you for being here today.
I'm here because I'm the only one that wanted to be here, because my children don't trust themselves to come in and talk because they're so upset, so angry at this system, what they did. How could they give him a second chance when they...
Jake's horrible. That's a good name for her.
How? That's beyond me. You know, you get two drunk driving tickets and you go to jail or you pay a goddamn fine. And he, a slap on the hand, go and do community work.
Did she just say GD in the courtroom?
How does that happen, Your Honor? I want to know how did that happen.
Anything else, ma'am?
No. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, Mr. Robinson, any other impact statements on behalf of the people?
No, thank you.
Ms. Garthwaite, Ms. Lowe, no impact statements on behalf of the defense?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
And submitting on your motion?
Yes.
Submitting on your motion?
Yes.
So the court is now going to pronounce judgment at this time. Ms. Lowe, Ms. Garthwaite, Mr. Robinson, Mr. Smith, are you okay if I sentence on all 3 together, all 3 cases?
Yes.
Yes.
This time, this court, having taken the defendant's plea, having read and considered the probation report, and having seen, heard, and considered the evidence and arguments of counsel at the sentencing hearing, as well as taking judicial notice of its own records, hereby pronounces the sentence as described in this order. The court imposes an aggregate sentence of 100.
We begin tonight with new information on the search for missing 9
plus 25 years to life and fines as specified. As I will explain shortly, the sentence of 180 days and 6 years and 8 months will be determinate. The 25 years to life is indeterminate and will be described at this time. Probation is denied. Because Mr. HARO was on probation for a felony offense at the time he committed the serious and violent offenses of murder and assault on a child under 8 causing death, he is ineligible for probation pursuant to Penal Code Section 1203. Accordingly, probation is denied. In regards to the terms of imprisonment, this case involves the imposition of determinate terms and indeterminate terms. The court will first address the indeterminate terms. I did read the briefing submitted by Ms. Lowe and Ms. Garthwaite, as well as by Mr. Smith and Mr. Robinson. For count 1, in case FERI 2504-808.
Yeah, he wanted probation, not today,
Murder in the
Satan.
second degree, the court imposes
Thank you,
the only
Albie.
term provided by law of 15 years to
Albert,
life.
my bad.
The court notes that the amended complaint filed by the people lists the punishment for count 1 as 25 to life, which would suggest that the charge is first-degree murder, but we did have a discussion at the last hearing regarding the sentence or that charge, and that it is in the second degree. So I want to make sure that that's clear, Mr. Smith and Ms. Lowe.
Yes, Your Honor.
Accordingly, the court orders the designation of the 25 to life stricken from the amended complaint. For count 3, in case FERI 2504-808-1, assault on a child under 8 causing death, the court imposes the only term provided by law of 25 years to life. The court finds that counts 1 and 3, in case ending in 808-1, are based on the same act. An act or omission that is punishable in different ways by different provisions of law may be punished under either of such provisions, but in no case shall the act or omission be punished under more than one provision. Accordingly, the court stays the punishment for count 1, the murder charge, pursuant to section 654. The court declines to stay the punishment for count 3 instead of count 1, pursuant to section 654. Mr. HARO, through his attorney, urges the court to stay the higher punishment because he acknowledged wrongdoing and pled guilty at an early stage of the criminal process, which is a mitigating factor under the rules of court. And the court does not find this to be a compelling reason to select the 15-year to life term in lieu of the 25-year to life term. While Mr. HARO did plead guilty at an early stage in the proceedings, this does not outweigh the significant and considerable aggravating factors that he has admitted to. It cannot be ignored that Mr. HARO was on probation for severely abusing one child when he decided to assault and kill another child. Further, the court notes that Mr. HARO was out on bail in 2 cases, including one for abusing his daughter when he killed baby Emmanuel. And the fact that Mr. HARO pled guilty at an early stage, while not insignificant, cannot overcome the horrific nature of the circumstances here.
This dude should be in the lecture chair.
Himself has made with respect to the aggravating factors. Accordingly, I will impose the indeterminate term of 25 years to life. Mr. HARO has also been convicted of 3 felony charges with determinate sentences. The court selects the child abuse charge, 273A from case BAF 2101265-2 to be the principal offense. The court orders executed the previously imposed term of 6 years, which is the upper term. As will be explained, the court orders the determinate punishments to run consecutively to the punishment imposed in felony case ending in 808-1.
So the 6 years runs concurrent with the 25 to life.
717, Mr. HARO has pled guilty to being a felon in possession of a firearm pursuant to Penal Code Section 29800 and ammunition under Penal Code Section 3305. These offenses are based on his possession of a loaded firearm, which is a single act. Accordingly, the court stays punishment for count 2, the possession of ammunition charge, pursuant to Section 654. For the firearm possession charge in count 1, I will impose a subordinate term of 8 months, which is 1/3 of the midterm, to run consecutively to the principal term.
Okay, so the 8 months is after the 25 years.
To impose consecutive or concurrent sentences, the rules of court provide several factors for the court to consider. The factors related to the
6 years, 8 months
whether or not
before he's eligible for parole.
their objectives were predominantly independent of each other. 2, the crimes involved separate acts or threats of violence. Or 3, the crimes were committed at different times or separate places rather than being committed so closely in time and place as to indicate a single period of terrible behavior. The court may also consider any aggravating or mitigating circumstances in deciding whether to impose concurrent or consecutive sentences, except that the court may not impose a consecutive sentence based on 1, a fact used to impose the upper term, or 2, a fact used to otherwise enhance the defendant's sentence, and 3, a fact that is an element of the crime. The consecutive punishments are appropriate here because the crimes and their objectives were independent of each other, involved separate acts, and were committed at different times, indeed over the course of many years. Accordingly, the court imposes all felony punishments to run consecutively to each other. Mr. HARO has also pled guilty to a misdemeanor offense of filing a false police report in count 2 in felony case ending 808. For this misdemeanor offense, the court imposes a term of 180 days to be served in any penal institution. Having imposed the terms as explained, the court hereby imposes an aggregate term of 180 days and 6 years, 8 months, plus 25 years to life in state prison. I do want to touch on my discretion in case there was any question. Looking back on this in the future, were the voters or the legislature to amend any statutes, or were there to be any decisional law in the future that would grant this court any additional discretion in sentencing and which might benefit Mr. HARO, this court would decline to exercise any such additional discretion to lower or mitigate Mr. HARO's sentence. The court has weighed and balanced all the aggravating and mitigating factors in this case and considered all circumstances such that the court believes the current sentence is just and appropriate. Mr. HARO's conduct and culpability in the offense against his own children lead the court to conclude that Mr. HARO's sentence today is fully justified without future downward modification, even should the legislature provide such discretion. In regards to the fines, the court will impose a restitution fine of $10,000. The court finds the maximum fine is appropriate given the number of felonies the defendant was convicted of and the number of years he is being ordered to serve. The court imposes the parole revocation restitution fine in the amount of $10,000 as well.
Okay, here's the deal. 25 to life means he has to do 25 years. Okay, under the guidelines, 25 to life, he has to do the 25 years. The 6 years run concurrent with his 25 years. Okay, so that ain't an extra 6 years. He has 25 years, and after that, he's eligible parole. That don't mean he'll make parole. That means he's eligible for parole. So basically, he has a life sentence, but he's eligible for parole after 25 years.
This fine is stayed unless and until parole is
25 years and 8 months.
revoked. I will impose the court security fees as well as the penalties. The court additionally imposes the state penalty of $10 for every $10 or part of $10 upon every fine imposed. The state penalty assessment of 20% of the base fine, the court operations assessment of $40 for each conviction, and the court facilities assessment of $30 for each conviction. Ms. Lowe, I will take note of your request under Duenas. And at this time, those fines and fees will be imposed, but stay the execution pursuant to Duenas. In regards to restitution, the court orders victim restitution to be paid in any amount that may be determined in the future. Mr. HARO is also ordered to pay interest at a rate of 10% per annum, accruing as of October 12th of 2018 in case DAF ending 265, as of July 27th, 2024 in BAF ending in 717, and as of August 14th, 2025 in felony case ending in 808-1. Mr. HARO is hereby advised the restitution orders shall be enforceable as if they were civil judgments. Mr. Haro, I'm going to advise you of the following at this time. You are advised of your right to appeal. The notice of appeal must be filed within 60 days after the rendition of the judgment or the making of the order being appealed. You are also advised that if you are indigent, you are entitled to appointment of counsel upon request. Sir, I'm also advising you of your requirement to provide buccal swab samples, right thumbprints, and a full palm print impression of each hand and any blood specimens or other biological samples.
I thought the 6 years, he said concurrent. So it runs together with the life sentence. The only one he said that wasn't I thought was the 8 months.
Sir, also advising you that as a result of these convictions, you are prohibited from owning, purchasing, receiving, possessing, or having under your custody or control the firearms, ammunition, or body armor. You are also ordered to relinquish any firearms. Sir, I'm advising you, and I went over this at your plea, that if you are not a citizen of the United States, these convictions will have the consequence of deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and denial of naturalization pursuant to federal law. You're also advised that at the expiration of the term of imprisonment here imposed, you may be released on parole unless the Board of Prison Terms waives parole for good cause. If parole is granted, the period of parole shall be for 3 years. Now, sir, going over your credits, and Ms. Lowe, Ms. Garthwaite, Mr. Smith, Mr. Robinson, I believe we went over these this morning, but just want to make sure that I have the correct credits. Sir, in BAF, case ending in 017, you have credits of 72 plus 72 for a total of 144 days. Mr. Smith, Ms. Lowe, Ms. Garthwaite, do you agree?
Yes.
In case ending in 265, your banning case, you have credits for 167 days actual plus 166 days 4019 for a total of 333.
Yes.
And lastly, sir, in the case, your newest case, ending in 808, your Riverside case, you have credits of 74 days.
We have an update
plus 0 days good time credit for a total of 74 days.
Yes.
So to reiterate the final disposition, Mr. Haro, you are hereby sentenced to serve 180 days and 6 years, 8 months to terminate. You are ordered to serve 25 years to life in the state prison for the child abuse perpetrated against CH, for unlawfully possessing a firearm and ammunition after having been convicted of such a heinous crime, and for the senseless assault and murder of baby Daniel. While no sentence can possibly vindicate the loss of innocence and life at the hands of Mr. Haro, the man who was supposed to protect these precious and defenseless children against evil and harm, the sentence here is the most the court can do to ensure that as much justice is done as possible. To that end, the court imposes the aforementioned terms of imprisonment, fines, and penalties and assessments, and I will be filing a written order of today's sentence. Anything else at this time before I sentence him or transport it forthwith? Ms. Lowe or Ms. Garthwaite?
No, thank you. I have a point of clarification, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just wanted to inquire, it's my understanding that the court did impose the $10,000 restitution fine that stayed that person between years.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, Mr. Robinson?
Nothing further.
Thank you. And at this time, Mr. Haro, I am going to order that you are transported forthwith by the Department of Corrections for housing in the state prison.
That's what you get.
And Ms. Lowe, Ms. Garthwaite, before you leave, there was an issue that we had kicked over to today's date in regards to the violation of probation and the subpoenaed documents. Mr. Robinson, Mr. Smith, Ms. Lowe, Ms. Garthwaite, how would you like to proceed with those documents?
It's my request that be put over to the January 21st episode.
Mods, don't forget to post our Christmas wish link. So if people want to donate to help us buy a few families Christmas this year, we have a link where you guys can donate. So mods, if you could throw that in the chat if possible.
I did tell defense counsel for Mr. HARO that I would notify them. I'd like to address who has standing.
Don't drop the Dolly soap.
On that particular day.
Anytime that third-party documents are subpoenaed to a court, there's a procedure where the court has to determine if there's good cause and conduct an in-camera hearing, and that's with or without an objection. But I already did object to the release and asked that the court follow that process of the last court proceeding. If the court would like me here in January to make that same record, I'm happy to do so.
So you made the record. It was my understanding that there might be a request that those documents were not needed. So we'll continue the matter to January 21st. I'll note your objection. In between now and then, I'll review the documents for materiality. Mr. Smith, if you can let me know if you plan to continue to use those documents. If you're not going to use the documents, then I will not review them and we'll keep them downstairs. But if they are going to be released, I will review them for materiality.
Based on my limited understanding of what's in those documents, I do believe it's possible. I would like to use them, so I asked the court to review them.
Okay, so I'll review them by the next court date, and then Ms. Lowe and Mr. Smith will have further conversations, and we'll figure out, Ms. Lowe, if it's necessary for you to appear on that January 21st date, as well as you, Ms. Garthwaite. Anything else?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. HARO has some paperwork to take back with him. And so we want to make sure, I don't think that we ever made an order that he could have paperwork transported back and forth.
I'll make an order that he be allowed to transport his legal paperwork to and from court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, court's in recess now. Can I have her step outside, please?
Camera.
Okay, so there you have it. So we know now at least he's going to be doing at least 25 years before he's even thought about for any type of parole. And I had to actually go in and look that up because, I mean, I wasn't positive. And I want to take a second because, you know, guys, every year we do a Christmas wish where we help a few families that are in need of Christmas gifts, right? And we have a campaign set up to where you guys can donate if you want to help. I want to show you guys this, and I want to thank a couple people that have already donated to it. And this is for us to buy people Thanksgiving and a few families Christmas gifts, which we will have live when we do it here on my channel. We'll get right back to true crime in a second, but I want to thank Thelma right here. She donated $40 to the Christmas Wish Fund, and it just says Christmas Fund. Let me heart that real quick. And then Madonna, wish every child a Christmas full of joy. Thank you so much. And guys, I don't get a notification when you donate to this. So we've already raised $60 for our campaign to help families. So thank you so much for you ladies that have donated to that. And that is absolutely awesome of you. Okay. Now, back to the true crime. Does anybody feel like that was enough? Right? Does anybody feel like that was justice? I mean, I think he's in his 30s, mid 30s. Jake is. So you figure 25 years, you're in your mid 30s, plus the 6 years people are saying he has to serve after that. So he's looking at roughly about 30 years. So he'd be 60, 63, 64 years old, time he's eligible for parole. 432 likes and 600 watching. Well, we got 630 in the room right now. I don't think it's good enough. I honestly don't. Now, if he would have gave that baby up, would they would have been a little more lenient towards him? Now, I don't think no parole the possibility of parole should have been there unless he gave the baby up. I agree, James. He should have got the death penalty, in your opinion. I agree. Listen, I'm an eye for an eye kind of person, you know, and they say that's bad, that the whole world will be eyeless. But I believe if you take a life, you deserve to lose your life. I'm a strong believer in that. And these places that have done away with the death penalty, I don't think that's right, because, you know, California has pretty much done away with the death penalty. Where I'm at in Virginia has done away with the death penalty, but hopefully we'll bring it back. Virginia, you know, I got confidence in my state. But, you know, we live in the United States of America, and justice is not the same across the board. Some places are really strict on crime, and some places are very lenient on crime, right? And I don't think that should be the case. I think it should be across the board, that every American should be treated like any other American. If you can kill somebody in a certain state, let's just say Texas at Alabama. Look at Alabama. They're still giving people the gas chamber. If Alabama can unalive you for taking a life, every state in the country should unalive you for taking a life. I mean, we don't live in individual countries. We live in the United States of America, and the law should be the law across the land. We should all have to follow the same laws, and we should all have the same punishments for crime, right? This goes into your whole Joe Exotic thing. Joe Exotic never killed anybody. He's serving longer in prison than most murderers. Like I told you earlier in the show, I watched the show last night. A dude, he had he got 25 years for first degree murder, and he was out in 14 years. Okay, but he didn't get 25 to life. He got 25 years. So he paroled out in 14. And then killed somebody else. So, I mean, you telling me that some people can sit in prison longer than murderers? You love Joe, free Tiger King? I agree. I say free Joe Exotic too. I mean, yeah, should we have punished him for him unaliving the lions? Yes. But think about this. He killed 3 lions, but he also bred hundreds of them back into the world that were going extinct. So, I mean, what about the good he done? Like, you got to weigh it out, how much good a person does compared to the bad they do. And, you know, like Joe Exotic said, that show was a TV show and it was exaggerated, you know, not to judge him based on the Tiger King show. And it's hard to see a man that ain't never kill anybody sitting in prison like he did, you know, like, and when you had, you know, when the woman was going to take Joe Exotic's house, that's where I think she crossed the line. Fighting with Joe Exotic and they were trolling each other on the internet. I mean, I was good with that. But when that woman was going to take his mother's house and did, I knew then. I was like, the hell with Carol Baskins. This lady right here is a piece of shit. I can understand why Joe didn't like her. Now, I don't wish death upon nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand why people didn't like this lady. And, you know, of course, you see stuff like, you know, that, and then you got these murderers killing people and they're getting out of prison. Now, I want to go over an update on, let me see if I got it right here. This is on Melodee Buzzard, right? Because this is another one of those cases that has weird vibes. Some people think it's a lot like the Lori Vallow situation. Now, myself, I believe this woman has hid her child. What's her name? Ashley, right? Ashley Buzzard. I believe she has hid her child. Like, it is one of those situations where, you know, there's new evidence that's coming out saying she changed the tags on the rental car. I still blame that on Carol Baskins, right? Listen, people feel they got some hate in their heart for Carol Baskins, right? That Ashley Buzzard basically changed the tags on the rental car so she couldn't be tracked. right? I guess she understands about tag readers. I believe in this woman's mind that she believes somebody is out to get her. Now, I seen on Ashley Banfield, they're talking about they think she sold the kid. And I'm like, I don't know if she sold the kid. That's a lot, right? But she definitely seems like she was hiding from somebody and that she has hidden this little girl. Now, I want to go over the latest update. Leanne, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express. It's great to see you this morning. And, you guys let me know what you think. Is this a murderous mother? Or is this a mother that is paranoid with delusions and she thinks people are out to get her and her daughter?
Tonight in the search for a missing 9-year-old from the Central Coast. Tonight, new details on the trip her mom took in a rented car.
CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk now. Mike, you have been keeping a close eye on this case that now has a Southern California connection.
It does. Lots of developments tonight in this case, actually, Pat and Juan, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office revealing the fact that after the mom took that trip in the rented car that made it all the way to Nebraska, Melodee actually got in the car and came back with her, at least up until a point. Now, this is also the first time you're seeing a photo of the mother. There she is. That's Ashley Buzzard, with detectives saying she is also wearing a wig in that photo, along with Melodee, who they believe also was wearing a wig here. Now, you remember this case happened after school officials reported that Melodee hadn't been to school for several days and asked the Sheriff's Department to do a welfare check. They did. They went and spoke with Ashley, which is Melodee's mother, and said Ashley could not provide any reasonable explanation as to where her daughter was. Ever since then, for the last several weeks, they've been investigating the disappearance of the now 9-year-old girl, including a trip her mom took in a rented car all the way to Nebraska. Investigators say after that trip in Nebraska, she returned back to California by way of Kansas and returned that car. Now, here are new details, because tonight the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office says that they have been able to verify that actually Ashley was in the car all the way back until at least Green River, Utah. Now, sheriff's investigators also say during the trip, a license plate was put on the car that was a New York license plate that did not match the car or Ashley. It's unclear where that license plate came from or when the swap occurred, but when the car was returned to Central California, it had the correct license plate on it. Now, I want to show you this area because this is the Green River, Utah to Primm, Nevada. That's the route they took there. That's the last time that they saw Ashley in the car. Up until this point in the trip, they don't know if Ashley was still in the car. They're working with local law enforcement, but also asking community members to keep an eye out here. Now I want to take us down to Southern California at our area, because after she came through Primm, Nevada, they say actually she took the 15 to the 210, potentially making a stop in Rancho Cucamonga. That's one of their points of interest. Then took the 210 all the way to the 134, the 101, and then back to Central California. And again, it's unclear at this point if Ashley was still in the car. They can verify that she made the return trip all the way up until Utah, but it's unclear if she came back with her mom all the way until then. They've served search warrants. They've looked through her house. They've questioned the mother, and they have not gotten anywhere as to where Ashley was. So, of course, if you know anything or you recognize anybody in those pictures, you're asked to call the Santa Barbara County Sheriff.
So much ground to cover.
Yep.
Mike, thank you very much.
Miss Fortune 656 donated to the Wish. Well, thank you so much for donating to that. That is great of you. Give me 1 second and I'll jump over there so I can heart your donation. Okay, thank you guys. A couple of you did right here. Bail my $100. Well, there was one of you. Merry Christmas to the kids. Thank you so much. Let me heart that. And like I said, about a week before Christmas, we get people to submit their letters and their Christmas wishes, and then we go in and buy their gifts for Christmas, right? For families that are in need. And this is the fund that we pull that money out of. So we're at 160 raised. So thank you. Big virtual hugs to you. Big virtual hugs to you. Now, what do you guys think about that? That means she went there, she started coming back, and all the way up to Utah, Melodee was in the car. At some point, she switches the tags. Where did she get the New York tag? This story gets strange. I mean, it is definitely a strange story. But for some reason, and I mean, now this is just my opinion, I think this little girl's alive. I think she's been hid somewhere and her mom thinks somebody's out to get them. Or did this get a situation where the mom was on the road and she lost control? I ain't talking about a vehicle, of herself, and has done something to this little girl and just hid her along the way. Yeah, she switched the tags, Rose. She switched the tags. Why would you do something like that? That don't make a whole lot of sense. And what don't even make even more sense is they don't have this lady in custody. And they don't have anything right at this time that says there's been foul play. Now, I know she didn't make it back from Utah without stopping somewhere. Yeah, that's a long ride on a tank of gas from Utah to California. So, did the child come back to California, or is she somewhere between Utah and California? James says, Dolly, wherever tag switch was, in my opinion, I would start there. I think so too. I think so too. Like, it gets more and more strange as days go on. And, you know, now we know her full route, and she drove a long way, and there's no real reason why she drove there. She hasn't given a reason, right? But here's the thing. She used to live there. So if she lived there before, she may know people along the route that would, she may be able to hide this child with. Now, I just want to take a little poll with you guys, right? And that poll is just basically asking, how many of you believe that Melodee Buzzard is alive? I want you to press 1 in the chat. If you think the mother has done something bad and unalived this child, I want you to press 2 in the chat, right? 1, she's alive. 2, she's not. I just want to see where you guys are at, because I'm going to go with 1. I'm thinking this little girl's alive somewhere and has been hid. And a lot of you guys think that too. 3, no idea. I can understand that. 3, you don't know. Okay. Okay. Cats says 2. Okay. There's some 2s out here. People do believe this little girl may be deceased. I mean, it's a possibility. But here's my thing about this been the whole time with this is this. If you was going to unalive her, would you drive halfway across the country to do it? I mean, I don't think I would. I think if I'm going to get rid of you, I'm going to get rid of you here. I may go hide you, but I'm not going to go 1,500 miles to hide you. I think once you get out the 5-mile radius of where you're from, nobody's going to find you anyway. Unless she put her in the middle of nowhere. But you got to remember, California is all desert. You could hide somebody right down the street and never find them. Look at baby Emmanuel HARO we were just talking about. I don't think they took him far from home, and we don't have baby Emmanuel HARO. So why would you go so far unless you was trying to protect or hide? And why would you put her in a disguise? Here, put this disguise on because I'm going to kill you later. I mean, that don't make a whole lot of sense of what's going on in this whole thing. Not to me anyway. Right? It seems a little strange, a little odd, a little bizarre. And, you know, we've talked about this gray area that this falls under because she has constitutional rights and she don't really have to talk because technically she really hasn't broke any law. And I don't know if CPS has put out a court order for her to go in front of a judge, and a judge has told her, hey, you're going to have to hand over this child or go to jail for obstruction of justice. But she's still home. She still hasn't been arrested. We're going on already over 3 weeks of this little girl missing, and they haven't done anything about it. Yay, I finally caught Dolly live. Yeah, I haven't done a live during the daytime in quite a little while, right? I've been doing weird hours, like from 2 a.m. to 4 in the morning for like the last week and a half or so. My sleep schedule has been really messed up. So I haven't been here with you guys during the day. So thank you for being here with me. I'm trying to get everything back on schedule so I get up early in the morning like a normal person so I can get things done. Melanie is dead, in your opinion? Yeah, I mean, you know, that may change. Like right now, there's a lot of us that think she is alive. Okay. Like you, and I'll use this as a prime example.
We begin tonight with new information.
Let me pull this over. This is another video update on little Melanie.
On the search for missing 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard of Vandenberg Village. The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office says Melodee's mother, Ashley Buzzard, took her daughter on a road trip to Nebraska on October 7th in a rented white Chevrolet Malibu. When Ashley returned home, Melodee was no longer with her. Investigators say the little girl was last seen on surveillance video on October 9th near the Colorado-Utah border. Detectives also believe Ashley changed the car's license plate at some point during the trip to avoid detection. The sheriff's office is focusing on the time between October 9th and 10th and is asking anyone with information to call 805-681-4150.
All right, let me jump back over here. Yeah, I see where you said federal officers took her out of the house, but that was just a search. They did a search. They took some things out of the house and a couple trash bags. Allegedly, the neighbor said they took a piece of rolled up carpet and a piece of drywall. But still, later that night, they released her and let her go. The FBI needs to find out who Ashley was in contact with, maybe some religious cult that would hide her. You know, that's possible, but here's the thing. You can't just go searching people's phones. You can't, unless you have warrants, right? Unless you have warrants to search it. They did get warrants. They did acquire warrants to search her home because she's not doing none of this voluntarily. They're having to get warrants. They're having to do all these things. And even as they're doing that, she's not talking. You know, she drove off with them willingly, right? When they came and got her to search the house, she got in the car with them, not in handcuffs, not nothing, walked, sat in front of the car. They drove off and brought her back. What conversations are they having with this lady in the car while all this is going on and still nothing? Okay. Still nothing to tell where this little girl is at. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, we've been discussing over the last couple months, Jack and Lily Sullivan out of Nova Scotia, 2 kids missing. And a lot of people thought that Jack and Lily were alive and they were hidden on an Indian reservation. You know how I just did the poll and I asked everybody to press 1 and 2? Well, you know, I always thought that Jack and Lily was deceased from the very beginning, but their father came out giving mixed stories. Well, not their father, but their mother's boyfriend came out giving mixed stories that he believes she handed the kids off and they're on some native reservation. And I asked people to vote, and the majority of people voted that they believe Jack and Lily Sullivan were alive. Okay. And I was like, okay, I don't feel the same way. But I asked the crowd, I said, now, if I ask you this months from now, is your answer going to be the same? Right? So the last poll I took on Jack and Lily, the majority of people thought Jack and Lily were deceased. Now, in fact, we'll do it right now. Okay. If you believe that Jack and Lily Sullivan are alive, I want you to press 1. If you believe they are deceased, press 2. Okay. Now you got to remember, months have went by and there's no Jack and Lily. And I think most people now think these children are deceased. Okay, look, you see the 2s now. I mean, it's crazy. Now, I'm going to ask the same question for as Melodee Buzzard. If we go into months and this girl has not been recovered, are people going to change their answers, right? Because a lot of ones were in the chat that she's alive. But if we get to like the 3-month mark, the 4-month mark, are you going to change your opinion on that? you know, and I think most people would if this little girl is not recovered in a reasonable amount of time. The good thing in this is that Melodee has been pretty high profile the whole time she's been missing. She's been getting a lot of attention from everybody from Nancy to Banfield. Banfield's been really on this one, right? She's been covering a lot. Thank you to Miss Banfield. She's a super nice lady. She looks bigger on TV, but when you meet Banfield in person, she is the tiniest little lady and sweet as can be, right? And she's been doing a good job covering this. And like I said, her last video was, you know, basically titled, "Did the Mother Sell the Kid?" Now, I know kids can be sold out here in this world. We see it happening, right? That kids are trafficked into different sex organizations and sex rings and all that. I've seen The Sound of Freedom, so I know it happens. But just think about this. I don't run in bad circles, and I don't think most of my viewers do. I mean, we're not Don Wells. Have you ever seen a place that you could sell a kid? I mean, I never have. And I'm from the hood. Like, you can't just go in the hood and sell a kid. That don't happen. I mean, you can sell drugs out here, right? You can probably sell prostitution out here, right? But I don't think you can sell no kid. Not in the hood. I don't think there's places in the hood that buy little kids. I've never seen a place where you could sell and buy a kid. Now, I'm not naive. I do know it happens. Like I said, I've seen The Sound of Freedom. They were kidnapping kids and they were selling them on the black market and they were shipping them around the world in shipping containers. Global epidemic, right? Like, it's a global problem. I know it's real. I know it happens and it's horrible. It's just, I've never seen it personally. Like, I've never seen nobody be like, I've never had nobody offer to buy a kid. Like, I pushed my daughter around in the stroller a million times as a baby. I have never one time somebody walked up to me and be like, "Hey, you want to sell that kid?" Or seen a sign, "We buy kids." I've seen like pawn shops, we buy gold, we buy damn gift cards, but I've never seen nowhere that, or anybody ever come up to me or say, "Hey, you know where I can buy a kid?" Now, some people will say adoption agencies, social services, or baby nappers, and they profit off of selling kids. I mean, that's a whole different beast though. But I'm talking about people that are just basically going, okay, I don't want this kid anymore. I'm going to go sell it. Now, I'm sure if you started digging into the dark web and other places like that, and you have to look for it. I'm sure, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure if you went down that rabbit hole of weird stuff on the internet, places on the internet you probably shouldn't go, you probably could find somebody that would. Or if you went into some of these groups, because listen, I watch like Skeet Hansen, the Gordon dude up here. I watch Trilogy Media. I watch all these people that catch these pervs, right? That like kids and that'll go meet kids. So I'm sure you could do something like that and actually sell a kid to some weird bad person. And my thing was I don't leave the house much. I'm pretty much a homebody. If somebody knew me, they'd be like, Dolly, yeah, Dolly don't leave much. He don't go out. When I go out, I have a mission. I don't just go out and just be out, right? I'm either going somewhere, doing something. But for the most part, I enjoy being home. I'm comfortable here. I'm older. I ain't out wilding out and stuff no more. So I'm pretty much a homebody. And I don't socialize a lot outside of the internet. Like, I ain't going out drinking with my buddies. I'm not going out shooting pool. I just don't do that. I stick to myself. And of course, PJ, I got PJ and my kid. If I'm not doing family stuff, I really ain't doing anything. I'm but chilling at the house and like maybe in the yard, or I might be cutting the grass, so I'm pretty much a homebody. So I spend most of my time socializing right here with you guys. Okay. The majority of talking to people that I do in a day is done to you guys. That's how I get because, you know, we're all social animals. We got to have that communication and all that. But I tend to do it on the internet. And I think that Ashley Buzzard, the mother, might be the same way, you know, because they say she don't never leave the house. She don't allow the kid to go out and play with nobody, which is terrible for the kid, right? Because kids need to go out and really have friends. And we don't know if, you know, who these people are talking to online. But hopefully when they got the warrants to search her house, they got warrants to search her devices, because that's important, right? Because there's a lot of different apps and dating apps, and you can talk to people in all kinds of different shit. Because when I watch those, you know, where they bust all the creepy dudes, they be talking to them on Telegram, on apps I ain't never even heard of, right? Like some Russian shit and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know how people find these types of places to do these things, but they do. So is this woman, has she been talking to somebody somewhere else? Or does she have a friend that she's hid this baby with? Well, not even baby. She's 9 years old. Young lady, okay? The little young lady. And she looks so much different than the pictures they share. Phones are the first evidence. Well, I mean, they know the route this woman went. They know a lot of places where she would have stopped. Like, it's almost like you need to go that route and then hit every gas station, everywhere you could stop along that route, and put up posters and see if there's video. I mean, they know the time frames to actually look for, because if they had her in Utah at a certain time, then of course you can almost, you know, how fast you drive, you can almost break down what time they would have been where by the GPS. And I mean, they have all the GPS records in the car. That little girl is somewhere along that path, I would think. But the problem is, did somebody go meet her somewhere and then put the little girl into another car and they drive somewhere else? Where did she get the tag? Why is she so paranoid? She's definitely running from something, but what? Is she involved with bad people? Okay. For all we know, this lady could be involved with the cartel or something. We don't know, but for some reason she is fearful or something. Because why is she wearing disguises? Or is it just mental? Dolly, I'm afraid that if she took this man to some creepy, this little girl is gone with all the attention the case is getting. That's the scary thing too. I mean, that's the scary thing is if she's with a friend and the friend is hiding her, then that's one thing, right? But if she's not with a friend and she's just with a stranger, and a stranger's done convinced this lady to hand her child over to him or her, weirdos coming, men and women. There's some weird ass women in this world these days, right? Yeah, I used to think predators were just men, but oh no, not in 2025. Some women are now predators, right? It's crazy. It's damn crazy what women be doing, like some serial killer shit these days, which used not to happen, but these days, you can't trust anybody, right? You know, back in the day, your average serial killer would be a white male in age 35 to 40. Now, you can't even put a race, a age, or anything on that. Everybody's nuts, right? So, and I don't know. I just don't know. But I just don't get the murderous vibe from her. Like crazy vibe, yes, I get that crazy vibe from her, but I don't get the murderous, I'll chop you up and unalive you type vibe. So, like I was saying, Rebecca HARO, I know I'm jumping around a little bit. Rebecca HARO, she has court in January. We just basically seen Jake get 30 years, okay? Roughly 30 years in prison. But he'll get out one day if he don't get killed in prison. Now, do they treat baby killers the same as they treat people that sexually assault children? I don't know. I've never been incarcerated with somebody that killed a baby. Now, I have been in jail, and there was a person in there that SA'd a child, and he was on the get list, right? Everybody in the jail was trying to get him. So, but I don't know if they do the same thing for people that unalive babies, murderers, because you're in there for murder and you're not in there for the creepy charges. I mean, it's still creepy to murder your kid, right? So is he going to get the same type of treatment that, you know, a weirdo, a creepo would get in prison? A lot of them dudes get beat and killed and, you know, exploited in the prison system. I mean, I don't know. I've never been locked up in California, and I'm sure there's a lot of weird people in the damn California prison system. You feel, I don't feel like you're off yourself. So many people think being incarcerated so bad because you don't understand it. Like, you just don't think you could do it. But there's some people that do it like it ain't nothing. They enjoy prison. Like, some people become institutionalized. That's all they know is prison life. And they operate fine there. Believe it or not, everybody in prison ain't miserable. Everybody in prison's not getting raped. Everybody in prison's not living a horrible, terrible life. I mean, they got education, they got dental, you ever notice when people come out of prison, their teeth are white as hell, straight as can be. You're like, you got a better dental plan than I got, and I ain't never broke the damn law. It's like people go to prison to get their teeth fixed. So they got medical, they got cable TV. They're not living, they go outside, and a lot of them, are like men. So, I mean, you got your choice because you locked up with them, right? And you'd be surprised when people get locked up, how gay they become, how fast people become gay. Like, it's like, and especially when they know they ain't getting out, or even when people were getting out. Like, people in jail, this is what I found funny, and I'll share this with you from my experience of being locked up. It's people in jail, they don't look at it as being homosexual activity. Right? Some people do, right? Like, if you a normal dude, you will, but some people are like, they'll go in there and be like, well, I ain't got no other options, and I'm like, and they don't look at it as being that they're homosexual. If you be like, yo, man, you gay, they'd be like, no, I'm not. But dude, you over there having relations with a man, you gay. And they be like, no, not me. Like, be married on the street with kids, and then in jail messing with dudes. And then be like, yeah, I'm straight. Be like, oh, I don't know what the hell you talking about, but not where I come from, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Not where I live, right? Yeah, like gay for the stay, right? Like, but don't even look at themselves like that's anything wrong with it. Which, I mean, if that's what you like, there is nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, this is a sexual preference, but you have to understand that there's words that people relate to that, like gay and homosexual, and these people don't seem to think that they're involved in those type of activities. So, people go there and they're in relationships, and they, like, some people, like, it becomes your life. Like, that's all you know. And people get with the program, and like, it ain't as bad on people as you think it is. You think, like, so many people talk about prison justice. We don't see a lot of prison justice. Jeffrey Dahmer, maybe, right? He got beat with a broomstick. That's a weird dude. And the crazy thing is the guy that beat him was, I believe, was a gay man. Hey, that makes sense, right? But yeah, I mean, usually when these people go to jail, like these people that hurt kids and stuff like that, they put them in areas of the jail with other people that have similar crimes in prison. So that way you don't get killed. You know, believe it or not, you can go to prison if you're not protected. A family can sue you. The same thing out in jail. It's part of the correctional officer's jobs to keep you safe, right? Now, is there people that get stabbed up in prison? Yeah, but believe it or not, most of the time, them are gang people. Gangs fighting with gangs are usually when people get killed. If you ain't involved in none of that, usually you're not the ones getting stabbed up. And you know, all these weird people, they go to prison and then instantly they want to go to church, they find God, right? Like, you can find God without going to prison. I just want to throw that out there. Like, God, you know, in the term finding God, like I found God when I was in prison, God ain't lost. I always hear that. Yeah, I went to prison, found God. I don't think God was wandering around the damn prison tiers, okay, on the Tita. You know what I'm saying? On the tier. I don't think God was. You can find God without going to prison, right? And everybody want to be a minister, go to prison, be a damn prison minister and shit. Don't get in trouble. Be a good human being. I think that's what God wants from you anyway. I think God would rather you find him at the church than find him in the penitentiary. You never lost God to begin with. I know, but so many people like, I found God, but like, well, you the one that's lost. That means God found you. You didn't find God because God ain't lost. You the one that's a lost soul. All right. So I don't know what'll happen to Jake Haro. I think I could come up with a better justice system. We need to go back to the old days, like the Romans, and feed your ass to tigers. Be like, look, if you survive 2 wild tigers with a stick, we give you a stick and you can fight off these 2 tigers, we'll let you go. I'm more of the Roman gladiator days. You get in trouble, you fighting a grizzly bear. Better hope you can win. Okay, you better hope your ass can fight a grizzly bear. And if you can, we'll free you. But if not, in this time you get mauled by a bear, we ain't got to worry about you anymore. You ain't going to break no more crimes. Just easy as that. Like, I say feed this man to the tigers is what I'd have done. I'd been like, all right. And or Saddam Hussein him. Little Saddam. Remember what they did to Saddam Hussein? Anybody watch that? Press 1 in chat. You watch that. I watched that shit live. I couldn't believe it. Right? Like, you know, when you get the death penalty in them countries, that means death right after court. I mean, they literally walk you out the courtroom, walk you to the gallows, spit on you, and hang your ass in front of everybody. Y'all remember that? Now that shit sets an example right there. That, I mean, if you're going to do something, that's how you do it. All right. When you get death in those countries, that means death like right now, not like it ain't no going back to the prison cell. It ain't no more. It's walk your ass outside and we're going to put a rope around your neck and let the whole world watch you get executed. That was wild. Like I didn't even know it was like that. Okay. Like, damn. I wouldn't want to be Saddam. That shit was bad. Like weapons of mass destruction. Good Lord. That I think I'd rather die by weapons of mass destruction than what happened to him. Good Lord. Good morning, everybody in the chat. The way it should be, right? Yeah. Like if you get the death penalty, they should walk you out to jail and take you to the lethal injection chamber. Boop. All right. See you later. Tell Jesus I said hello, or if you make it there, right? That's another debatable thing, right? So let's just say you murder 20 people. You damn Ed Gain, right? And then you go to prison and you find Jesus. I don't know why Jesus ain't lost either. But just get in there and you become a prison minister. And then are them people running around in heaven? I want to know that before I get there. Okay. I want to know that before I get there. And I mean, I know it's one of those things you ask forgiveness, you accept the Lord as your savior. But I guess it really depends on what's in your heart. But just to think that you could do that and then there's still a spot for you in heaven. I'd have to sit down with God on that one and be like, listen, man, we need to come up with a better way, a little bit better way of pick who gets through the gates. All right. Or let me be the doorman. All right. Let Dolly be the doorman at the gates. Could you imagine that? You die, you get to the gates. There's Dolly. Like, listen, I'm checking your list and I'm checking it twice. See if you killed anybody or not. I don't know their heart. God does. I mean, I understand that. I get it. But I don't think you can kill 20 people brutally. Or not even 20. Let's just say 2. 1. And then think you can just change? I don't know. I don't know. That's just one of those weird things, like at that point, you might as well start praying to Satan. Dear baby Satan, give me a nice little warm, cozy spot in hell, because that's where you're going if there is one. We'll keep it that way because I know everybody's not religious in here. But if there is one, your ass is VIP. Like you get to the gate, they be like, no, you don't even got to wait in line. Come on up. You good. You know what I'm saying? Wave you right on in. Like we got a spot for, we've been waiting on you. It's hard to grasp. Good thing I'm not the maker of all things. Yeah, right. Good thing I ain't, because your ass, you wouldn't have a chance in hell getting in my heaven. I'd be like, nah, ain't happening. So anyway, like I said, January is Rebecca HARO. I think we got to give her life in prison too. This Ashley Buzzard lady, we got to bring back torture. Okay. I don't know any other solution to the problem but torture people. Okay. If we brought back torture, we wouldn't run into the problems we have in this world today. All right. We need to get a petition and make it, and just title it, Bring Back Torture. Like, you don't know where your kids are at, you will know time we pull your fingernails out and your toenails. Okay. Bring back torture. It'll solve a lot of the world's problems, and we wouldn't have these missing kids. Dolly, you having call-ins? Why, you trying to call me? What you trying to call me, Chief? Are you signing a petition to bring back torture? Okay, if you ain't, we ain't in the same mindset, right? Because you think about this, all these families out here that act like they don't know where their kids are at. One blowtorch and you would know. Okay. One blowtorch. Finally, 5 minutes alone, one blowtorch, there wouldn't be no missing kids. All right, everybody tell it. They be telling shit you don't even want to know. I didn't even ask you that, right? People will be giving it up. But right now, there's no consequences for people's actions. Now, if you had severe consequences, you wouldn't have so many problems. Remember back in the day when somebody tried to steal your horse and you could unalive them for stealing their horse? There wasn't a whole lot of horse stealing going on. When states were staying your ground, you could shoot trespassers on your property. Wasn't a whole lot of trespassers. Now, if somebody breaks in your house and steals your shit right in front of you, you can't do nothing. Have you ever, I heard a dude got shot in the back breaking into a house. and sued the homeowner for shooting him. Like, what? What the hell is that? What? you, if I do something about you stealing my stuff, you can sue me. No drama call-ins. Thank you, Sarah. I couldn't have said that better myself. I mean, I opened the phone lines for a minute. I wasn't really going to take phone calls today because I was getting ready to get out of here. I still had Monkey Michael Vaughan to talk about, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that today. Well, I might get to it later today, but not right now. I've already been here with you guys almost 2 hours, but I'll open the phone lines for a few minutes. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Now, let's stick to what we were talking about, or at least in true crime. All right. I mean, I don't want to talk about your granny's cooking recipe or, you know, nothing crazy, but I didn't even number up yet. Dolly,
we got to burn them at the stake to get the information.
burn them at the stake like witches?
Yeah, might as well. Fuck it.
Okay, we could
Get the
not
evil
use.
out of them.
We could have done without the F-bomb, Chief.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Flip
Okay.
up.
No,
but I haven't watched it yet. But Silver's on the Scene did a search for Sebastian, and I don't know. It looked like in his clip he found some kind of makeshift shelter in the woods somewhere.
There's a bunch
and
of
then
them.
I also heard that they were tipped to a storage facility not far from the house. And
yeah, the one next to the little store.
Yeah,
that's old. That's old stuff.
Was that just like a goose chase thing, or was that actual true information they received about it?
I mean, there was rumors. It's all rumors. There's nothing like, but yeah, as far as him finding like people sleeping in the woods, when I was down there searching, I found a bunch of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can only imagine all the homeless.
Here's that's what it is homeless and drug addicts that are going out into the woods. But as far as Sebastian wasn't an outdoorsman. It ain't like Seth took him hunting or anything like that. He couldn't survive out there on his own without a jacket and barefoot.
No, hell no, not in that.
So that kid's not.
I mean, if he was somewhat prepared, he might stand a chance for a little bit, but not.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Chief. All right, Chief. I'm gonna make it quick because I'm not gonna be here long. All right, peace.
Bro.
All right, so yeah, Sebastian Forrest, him being out in the woods, not alive. Dolly.
Hello, Dolly. This is Wilma from Kentucky.
Hey, Wilma.
I was just want to talk to you about the case of Brianna Johnson in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
We are having the same problem. Her boyfriend unalived my grandson, which was only 20 months old.
Okay.
He only weighed 20 pounds when they found him.
Okay.
And they are not trying. They don't want to give him much time.
When did this happen?
This happened last July. It's going on 2 years.
It's going 2 years, and your granddaughter?
It's my granddaughter, and it's my great grandson.
Okay.
They really don't want to give him much time because they say he's so young. He's only 23 and he's little, which is ridiculous. I'm hoping they take it to trial instead of mediation.
He unalived both kids?
No, just the baby.
Just the baby?
Yeah, he was 20 months old.
And he's still waiting to go to court after 2 years?
He's in, both of them are in jail. Where she was 26, he's 23. So they're saying that she may get more time than he did, and she didn't lay a hand on him, but she didn't do nothing about it.
Yeah, that's a lot like Rebecca and Jake Haro. I mean,
yeah,
I think Jake is the one responsible, but you got to hold them both accountable.
Right. But yeah, it's just all messed up. They want to do mediation instead of taking him to court, a trial. I think they should take him to trial.
Wow.
But it's still going. It's still going on. You can check on the 18 News. It'll tell you more about it. I think I sent you an email about it.
Okay. Well, shoot me another one just in case I didn't get it.
I will.
And I'll check it out because I've never really heard of the case.
Oh yeah, it's really awful. I mean, you know, they starved this baby. They starved his sister, and you know, it's really bad.
Did we talk about this before, me and you?
I think we did before. Yeah, I was kind of upset, so I probably didn't come through very good.
Okay.
And she was 9 months pregnant when this happened.
Wow.
So the grandmother has got the child, the new baby.
Okay, and that's your granddaughter. I mean,
yes, my granddaughter.
So it was your
and
daughter's boyfriend, right?
Right. My granddaughter's boyfriend. Okay, the baby is my great grandson.
Let me ask you, as a grandmother, what do you think happened to your daughter? I know this is a tough one, and probably hard.
Well, she's my granddaughter. The other one is my great grandson. She should go to jail.
How long?
She should get 20 years.
20 years.
She sat there and let it happen.
Okay.
You know, she didn't do nothing. She didn't raise a hand to stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love her. She's my great grandchild, but he wasn't my great grandson.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to meet him, you know.
Wow. Yeah. That's terrible. That is horrible. I'm sorry that happened with your family. I mean,
Thank you.
I wouldn't wish that on nobody. That's for sure. And at least you realize that, hey, she needs to be punished.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
I mean, even her daddy does, and she was his daughter, you know, his only daughter and a daddy's girl. But he, you know, yes, she should be punished.
Wow. Wow. Well, I hope everything works out for you, and definitely shoot me a message. I'd like to check some of that out, and I'm praying for
I'll
you.
send it to you.
I'm praying you get justice for your family. All right. You be good.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye-bye.
Wow. That grandmother's in the same boat as Jake and Rebecca Haro's. It's like, I mean, I know you want the best for your kids. Everybody's going to protect their kids, right? But at the same time, you need to know there's punishment for your actions. Every action has a consequence in this world, right? Let me shut this phone line before anybody else calls me. Because PJ's here for lunch. I'm going to spend a couple minutes with her. So, when you do something in this world, you got to pay the price. Like, I love my daughter and I do anything to help her, but God forbid she does anything terrible. I would want her to be punished for it. Not over punished, but punished enough to where it never happened again. Like, if you did something that you deserve to go to prison for, you won't have to go to prison. You know, it's like me. If I do something stupid and I go to jail, I don't blame other people. I just go, damn, I shouldn't have did that. And I learned my lesson from it. I'm going to be gone by the time you're done talking, LOL. You know you're not, because I'm getting ready to get out here. Listen, guys, I'll be back later around 2:00. I love you guys, and I will see y'all soon. Let me go spend some time with my producer, and I'll be live with you guys again at 2. We'll go over Michael Monkey Vaughan, Jack and Lily, and some Sebastian Rogers stuff. How about that? All right, love you.